Hey everybody, this is Tom with the Board Gamer. Today we're going to do a quick overview and review for this game. If you want the full how-to, go ahead and click this icon up here or the link in the description. Now let's get into it. Shadow Kingdoms of Valeria is a 1 to 5 player game for ages 14 and up, with an average gameplay length of 30 to 90 minutes based on number of players. Published by Daily Magic Games. The basic overview of Shadow Kingdoms of Valeria has you moving your warden each turn to a different location to collect a die and gain a benefit from the location, like gaining gold, champions, and battle plans. Then once you have enough dice to complete a battle plan, you will return to your camp, complete the battle plan in your reserve with the dice in your camp. Compare the strength of the dice with your influence and score for the lowest of the two. Then you may remove any single conquest marker from your board to level up its abilities. You can then place the marker on your campaign map for extra bonuses. Continue playing this way until a player has completed their 7th battle plan and finished the round. The player with the most points wins. Shadow Kingdoms of Valeria felt like a solo game you play with others. This is not a complaint, rather it was a compliment. In most games, the player interaction controls how you play the game, but in Shadow Kingdoms of Valeria, I found the player board let me make my own strategy no matter how my opponents were playing. The ability to upgrade your board by removing tokens in any order lets you play the game how you want. If you want more champions, you increase your champion capacity by removing those tokens first. If the main board has more dice that match your troop color, remove the token that makes all your troop dice that match your color wild. There's so many ways to play how you want, but you have to be able to complete battle plans first in order to remove these tokens. And that is where the player interaction comes in. Each player is competing for the same resources on the board. The main resource is the troop dice. These are what you use to complete battle plans, and on your turn you have one main action to complete, and that is to move your warden from a different location than the one you started on. The different shrines you bounce between offer a variety of benefits to help you complete the battle plans and maximize the points you gain from them. But just having the highest strength won't get you the most points. You have to think about your influence as well, because you score based on which of those two, strength and influence, are the lowest. I like to think of it as if you use your great strength to crush your enemies, but lack the influence, no one really cares, meaning less points. Just like if you are very influential but barely have enough strength, no one really cares, meaning less points. But if you are very influential and show great strength in battle, everyone cares, meaning more points for you. Be sure and keep an eye on the strength of your dice as well as your influence marker. And if you are ever confused, check the scroll on your player board or just ask. One of the nice things about Shadow Kingdoms of Valeria is that a lot of the information you need to play the game is out in the open, making it an easy game to teach and learn. What does this shrine do? It lets you purchase battle plans. What does this number on the die mean? It grants you a discount when purchasing from the champion shrine and or the tactic shrine, or it grants you gold if you go to the gold shrine. All these little questions are easy to answer throughout the game and do not give away a player's strategy or take up too much time to explain. This makes it a good game for new players. The game is competitive, but the information that can be shared makes it less tense than other competitive games out there. The components of the game are also very easy to understand with simple explanation. The troop dice, which correspond to each of the different player colors, let you know that the strength you are working with. The champions and battle plan cards are easy to read, and although they are small, they shuffle well and do not feel cheap. The player board and the player tokens are made with durable cardboard and provide a lot of information with easy to understand iconography. The campaign boards at first seem like an afterthought when playing the game, but can really give you an edge with bonus points and chain bonuses it provides. The wardens and other trackers are well made and represent each character well, adding to the immersion in the world. The quality of the components and the emergence they provide lets you experience the game at another level, which works great for a game's replayability. I don't know about you, but the more I connect to the game, which usually takes into account its looks, immersion, and gameplay, the more likely I am to replay it. I have to say, Shadow Kingdoms of Valeria ticks all three of those boxes for me. The gameplay is simple enough to enjoy, but complex enough to try out different strategies and still feel fresh. I usually shy away from games that uses this many dice, but the way they are used seems less random and more strategic. They still have the randomness, so each game feels different, but they do not feel like they control the outcome of the game like other dice-heavy games out there. The randomness the dice offer has more to do with the strength and troop types that come out of the dice bag for each shrine. The initial roll is the only bit of randomness the game has, but it only impacts long-term plans. Everything else relies on strategy. Of course, you cannot stop an opponent from collecting the dice you want before you can get it yourself, but early in the game, you have low influence, so high strength values do not mean as much. And you can always use gems or magic to adjust the dice as needed. Another thing that helps with strategy are the champion cards. With the right set of champion cards, you can optimize each turn or streamline a certain strategy, like going for a certain type of battle plan. You will have to rely on luck of the draw, but if enough players are buying champions, you can get ones that you might want faster than you might think. Shadow Kingdoms of Valeria is a strategy game, and nothing solidifies that more than the player board. You decide how you want to play and what you value more when upgrading it. That fits really well since you are working towards the goal of being the general of the whole Dark Army. The theme really works well for this game. You feel immersed in the world. You cannot score a lot of points with just strength or just influence alone. You need to be strong and well known. You will follow your path by upgrading the board how you want, playing as the dark creature you want to be, and recruiting the champions you think will help you achieve that goal. The only thing missing is the actual battles themselves. But implementing something like that would completely change the game. The theme really stands out and makes the game more enjoyable in my opinion. The dice are used well in representing armies and their strength, and the influence tracker adds more strategy to the game by scoring based on the lower of the two. I had fun playing Shadow Kingdoms of Valeria, and it does make me want to try some of the other games in the Valeria universe to see if they're just as good. This board gamer says, playing a Dark General in Shadow Kingdoms of Valeria is not boring. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and ring the bell to get notified about new videos. If you're bored now, click this for more games.